Hello lovely YouTube family, what's going on? The world is filled with great museums, many that are a destination in itself. Exploring a museum on vacation is not only fun, it can also give you an impressive glimpse into the city or country's past, as well as how it came to be the way it is today. Museums give us history, stories, and knowledge. In this video, we would like to share some interesting details about some of the most famous museums around the world. Are you curious? Then sit back, relax, and watch the entire video. But first, subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments what is the best museum you've ever been to. Number 10. The Rijksmuseum Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Located at the heart of Amsterdam's Museum Square, the Rijksmuseum is one of the world's most renowned art institutions. The museum first opened its doors in 1800 under the name Nationale Kunsthalle. At the time, it was housed in Huis ten Bosch in The Hague, but in 1808, the museum moved to the new capital city of Amsterdam. The museum has on display 8,000 objects of art and history, from their total collection of 1 million objects from the years 1200 to 2000. Even if you have only little time to spare, a walk through the Gallery of Honor will offer you a glimpse of Dutch's finest art. Number 9. Smithsonian Institution, Washington, D.C. A must-see in Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian Institution is the world's largest museum complex, made up of 19 separate museums and galleries, as well as the National Zoo, housing over 137 million objects like the Hope Diamond, the Wright Brothers' 1903 Flyer, the original Star-Spangled Banner, and the ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz. Nearly all the museums and exhibits are free, while Air and Space Museum, American History Museum, and the National History Museum are favorites. Arrive early to beat the crowds and avoid weekends and holidays if you can. Number 8. National Gallery of Canada, Ottawa. This museum has a great collection of art spanning the Middle Ages to the present day, including American, Indian, European, Inuit, and Canadian works. It offers a unique, near-complete overview of Canadian art, from early Quebec religious work through Inuit work from the 1950s to avant-garde contemporaries via the well-presented Group of Seven, whose passion in the early 20th century was to create an art that derived exclusively from Canada and its sublime landscapes. The successful fruits of their labor captured the spirit of a country and are now displayed on these walls. Number 7. State Hermitage, St. Petersburg, Russia. One of the museums with rare and wonderful collection of some of the most authentic and magnificent artwork from around the world. There are 6 buildings of the museum, which is located by the River Neva, and the entire thing is built in the glorious Baroque architectural style. The place was finished in 1764 and was a favorite and main residence for the emperors of Russia. Catherine the Great herself got around 255 paintings from Berlin and donated to the museum. There are 120 rooms filled with European art from artists like Titian, Leonardo da Vinci, Van Gogh, Goya, and many more. A must-see place if you go to St. Petersburg. Number 6. National Museum of China, Beijing. Having had a staggering 7,550,000 visitors, the National Museum of China claimed the top spot and saw a growth of 3.6% on last year's figures. Founded in 2003 and based on the merging of 2 previous museums, the National Museum of Chinese History and the National Museum of Founded in 2003 and based on the merging of 2 previous museums, the National Museum of Chinese History and the National Museum of Chinese Revolution, the free attraction is located on the east side of Tiananmen Square. Number 5. The Natural History Museum, London. In the late 19th century, the British National Collection was split 2 ways. One half became the British Museum, the Museum of All Mankind. The other became the Natural History Museum, the Museum of All Creation. Here, in the natural history's 70 million or so specimens, lies the evidence of what man has learned of all facets of creation over the last 250 years. So important is this collection that parts of it have been presented over the centuries as evidence used to debate and argue the age of the planet and the evolution of life. Number 4. The National Archaeological Museum, Greece. This museum holds the greatest collection of ancient Greek art on Earth. It is in these remnants of a bygone age that we see the birth of the concept of the importance of man as an individual amongst all the other beings of creation. These ideas are evident in the museum's 5th century BC bronze Zeus, perfectly poised to throw a lightning bolt. Modeled so as to be freestanding, he is the result of close observation. The study appears to be of a god, but in truth, it is the study of man. Number 3. The Metropolitan Museum, New York City, USA. This is the biggest and richest art museum on the American continent and in the Western Hemisphere in general. There are over 2 million pieces in here, from different time periods, from antiquity to the modern times. Some people claim that there are certain areas in the museum that can stand as museums on their own. The museum is a home to paintings of some of the most famous painters like Rembrandt, Botticelli, Degas, Rodin, as well as the ancient Egyptian collections are here. Number 2. The Louvre, Paris, France. The Louvre in the heart of Paris is the world's largest art museum. Once a royal fortress, it became a museum in the end of the 18th century. The 21-meter-tall pyramid made up of metal and glass welcomes the visitors. It is also the most visited museum in the world. The museum has a huge collection of more than 380,000 objects and 35,000 artworks, ranging from 6th century BC to that of the 21st century. It has countless pieces of sculptures, paintings, drawings, etc. But the main attraction of the Louvre is the world-famous painting of Mona Lisa. Apart from that, Veronese's The Wedding Feast of Cana captures the eye of visitors. Tourists are also guided through the former palace, thus giving them an idea to imagine the life of the Frenchman. Number 1. The British Museum, London, England. One of the oldest museums in the world, the British Museum is the largest museum in England. It has more than 8 million objects. The museum was built in 1751 and is dedicated to human history and culture. Various departments of the museum belong to ancient Egypt, ancient Greece and Roman, Middle East, America, Europe, Asia, etc. One interesting fact about the museum is it has the world's second vast collection of Egyptian treasure outside of Egypt. Thank you for watching. We hope you liked this video. The comment section is all yours. Tell us about the best museum you've ever been to. Hit like and subscribe to this channel, and also press the bell icon for more top 10 countdowns.